Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from anywhere in the world you're connecting today. It is Meredith Abdullahi, the organizer and the community lead of Microsoft Fabric Cafe. I'm super excited to be here with another Fabric conversation at this nice day, nice Saturday in Vancouver, Canada. So, without wasting any time, I'm gonna just jump into my slides. Like always, so today is September 6th of 2025, 8 a.m. Pacific time with 44th session of Fabric Coffee at Microsoft Fabric Cafe. Uh, so as you may know or not, we are part of the Microsoft Learn community. We are a learning room actually in Microsoft Learn tech community, a place where you can just learn and share your skills, your knowledge, with the community. And of course, there are other learning rooms. You can just join them as well. And so in Microsoft Fabric Cafe, we have the weekly sessions of Fabric Coffee sessions. Uh, it is going to be either Saturdays or Fridays. So with almost 5,000 members globally, and we are only focusing on Microsoft Fabric and Power BI. Depending on the topic that we are talking about, and it will basically provide learning and support to Fabric users in all levels. It is a forum for everyone to learn, share, and grow skills together. So, in the meantime, you can just put in the chat where you're connecting from and how they think about the community, and yeah, let's know each other better. So, in this slide, I've got the social media links that Microsoft Fabric Cafe is showing up. So, first of all, we have the YouTube channel where we have our past live sessions and upcoming live sessions, and including this session is going to be available immediately on YouTube channel. You can just rewatch them 1,000 times if it is needed, and also share with your friends. On our LinkedIn page, we've got our basically announcements from the community, from Microsoft Learn, Microsoft Fabric, and whatever that is related to our sessions. We've got two user groups in Microsoft Community Group and Microsoft Fabric Community, which is our new home. Basically, there you can just join to the discussions or start a discussion or answer others' questions when they are going to ask about anything. So, or even you can write your blogs, you can share your knowledge, right, or ask the questions and get the answers. And lastly, we've got the meetup group. On the meetup group, we do our announcement for the sessions and asking you to please rate the session that you have attended. And then afterward, we can just connect with your, the peers, that who actually attended the same session. We can just do the networking, right? Expand your network. Yeah, just don't forget to join the meetup group and rate the session. There's a code of conduct when we join the live sessions. Thank you very much for adhering to this code of conduct. Be respectful, collaboration, embrace diversity, stay professional, act with integrity, and use responsibly and report any issue that you see. And our past session with Bosland was done last week. There was an informative session. If you missed that or you want to rewatch it, it is available on our YouTube channel, so you can just rewatch it and share it with your network. And for today we have Dharmendra Ahuja from Texas, and is going to talk about building scalable enterprise-ready data solutions with Microsoft Fabric, and I'm super excited to hosting him. So I'm gonna invite Dharmendra to the stage, and hey, Dharmendra, how's it
Hi,
going?
Bharat. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you very much for being here in Microsoft Fabric Cafe. So, you know, I don't want to waste any time. If you're gonna share your screen, please do, and then I can just hand over the session to you, guys. If you have any question, just put them in the chat. It will be answered by Amanda, during the session. If I feel something is related, I jump in and ask the question. If not, we can just leave them into the end of the session, or whenever it is required. Yeah, please go for sharing your screen. It is already shared. Let me just bring it up.
Yeah, let me know when you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen. And guys, enjoy the session and ask your questions. Cheers.
Thank you, Bharat, for giving me the opportunity to present the session today. Very thankful to you for giving me the opportunity. So today I'm going to talk about how to scale enterprise data ready solutions using Microsoft Fabric. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dharmendra Ahuja, and I'm a DevOps architect, lead DevOps engineer, and data engineer. So I have 19 years of experience in IT, and I have served several clients in oil and gas, retail, banking, healthcare, and airline industry, and the government clients as well. So today I'm going to talk about the experience I had during working with the data projects, and I have worked with several technologies like Python and PySpark and Pandas as well. uh, and I have realized and created the deployment pipelines for those workloads as well, and I have faced several challenges during the deployment. So I'm going to talk about how Microsoft Fabric has simplified the deployment as well, and as well as the data structure, and it is very easy to grab this skill as Microsoft Fabric has simplified the workflows. So we'll deep dive into it. So as part of agenda, we will look into introduction, like what is the use case we have, and OneLake storage, which Microsoft Fabric is offering, and the security in place we have, and the deployment strategies we have, and the Lakehouse warehouse, and the difference between these two. And we will be doing the live demo today as well, and then followed by question and answers if anyone has any questions. So Microsoft Fabric is a unified analytics platform, and it gives a unified experience. It's like a comprehensive platform which seamlessly integrate data, and it is very helpful for data engineering and BI teams. And it is providing OneLake storage. So OneLake storage is a centralized layer which provide seamless access to all the data across Fabric. And also we will be talking about the Power BI integration as well, so how we are using Power BI to and semantic model to connect with the OneLake storage and the data warehouse. So how we are going to uh, how we integrate with the Power BI and how we can fetch the reports in minutes. That is the power of Power BI, Microsoft Fabric now. And also the governance and the security which we have in place. So as I mentioned about OneLake storage, it has Microsoft Fabric has simplified the OneLake storage process. Like it's a unified layer. It provides a single storage repository, and it eliminates all the data silos and redundant copies. So you will see how in OneLake storage how we can categorize all the files and tables together, and we can visualize all the data at one place. And it does also have a delta lake format. It's like an open source delta lake format which provides the asset transaction schema. uh, and also it is providing the performance optimization as well, as it is automatically doing the partitioning, indexing, and caching. So the query which we are writing on OneLake storage, it's is very very performing, and you like the user experience is very nice here. Security. So this is very important um, topic to discuss today, because we are hearing a lot about the security breaches. So it is very important to have the right security in place, and making sure that we are having single sign-on enabled, and we are using the right service principles and rollback access control. So Fabric provides the Azure Active Directory integration. So the beauty here is it is providing like seamless authentication. So using Fabric, we can whatever Azure Active Directory integration we have, we can integrate Fabric with that. So we are controlling the security from one place itself, that is Azure Active Directory. And also we have a multi-factor authentication in place. So like this is like a standard in the industry now. So I mean, this facility is also available here. um, and now we talk about the rollback access control. So we can control the access in Fabric based on the role. So we can control like a granular permissions management at the workspace and items, and even the data levels as well. We can control the access, and it is based on the least privilege principle. So grant access only whatever is required. So we will not be giving like we will not be opening the access for uh, at the wide level. So that is what is rollback access control. And we can control this we can have this rollback access control in place through using Azure Active Directory security groups. So as I mentioned, like we have one place in Azure portal. Through Azure portal we can control this access. And the third one is data protection. So the data which is flowing here is through which at the rest and in transit is secured. So we are using a AES 256 algorithm for the data in rest and transit using TLS. And so there is a sensitivity label is also in place. Like we can leverage Microsoft information protection to automatically classify and protect the data based on its sensitivity, and even protection even when the data levels leaves through the Fabric. So that is the security in place we have. So, and then we have a very important topic to discuss today: deployment strategy. In Microsoft world, like we have Azure DevOps pipelines, which we use to deploy the workload from one stage to another stage. And in Azure DevOps world, we have to write pipelines.yaml, and we have to classify all the stages and the workloads. So it is quite a lot of work we need to do. But Fabric has simplified this for us. So when you create one workspace, and like a development workspace, and when we need to migrate our changes to the next stage, that is testing or the staging or the production, so we can just create the separate workspaces, which we will see in the demo today, how we are creating the separate workspaces um, for each area, each environment. And then we can promote the changes from one stage to another stage seamlessly, without any issues. It's just with the click of a button. So that is the power Microsoft Fabric has given us. uh, now now another topic is about like what is the benefit of loading the data into warehouse instead of just living in Lakehouse. So we have two concepts we will be discussing. One is Lakehouse, one is warehouse. So like when we for data engineers, they can work in Lakehouse area. They work with the raw data. They can engineer the data there, and then we can load the data to the warehouse. So if we load the data in warehouse, it helps with the performance, because warehouse is optimized for by style queries. Like it helps like aggregation, joins, and star schema lookups. It helps with that. And Lakehouse also, SQL endpoint works with the like Lakehouse SQL endpoint also work, but it is slower in the complex queries. So it is better to load the data in warehouse, and we'll see how we load the data from Lakehouse to warehouse. We will see in today's session. And like we have more security in place, like fine grained security level we can do in warehouse. And we have a seamless Power BI integration. So I will see. I'll talk about semantic model we have in place in Microsoft Fabric, and warehouse directly integrates with semantic model. And and we can see how we can generate the Power BI reports through the semantic model today. And concurrency is also another benefit. Like warehouse can handle like many concurrent reporting users, so that is another reason we should load the data to warehouse. And the data modeling is easy, so we can build a star schemas and models in warehouse easily. Um so now, like as I was talking about the lake house and warehouse, so lake house is for storing raw data, like delta or parquet format, and it is great for data engineers and data scientists or anyone needing flexibility to semi-structured data set. And it can be, we can use Spark queries to work with the Lakehouse. And I'll be showing the notebook facility also, like how we can use the leverage the notebook, and we can use the data wrangler also to transform the data. And we can connect the Power BI also with the Lakehouse tables. So it is best when we want cheap storage or schema flexibility on read. And now warehouse. So warehouse is, it's more like a SQL, T-SQL workloads. It works best for the relational database, and the query performance is good here. So that's why we use warehouse. And it is the integration is easy with Power BI. We will see how it works, and it is best when we want the structured data. So when we are working with raw data or unstructured data, Lakehouse is the best choice. But if you want to work with the warehouse, like structured data, then the warehouse is the best choice. Now we'll be doing the live demo of whatever we discussed right now. So let me walk you through. So today we are going to work on it. We will be creating the workspaces. First, we will be creating a new workspace. So I will just call it as a live workspace. So, so live workspace is the name available. I'm just going to create a workspace here. So as part of the session today, we will need the data in the workspace. So I'll be showing how we can use the Git integration um, to load the data into my OneLake storage, and how we are using the data pipelines to get the data into our workspace. So first, I created the workspace here, and now I'm going to create my OneLake storage. So like lake house. So I'm going to create that. One second. I think I'm. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. So we can see here I have created a lake house already. So I think I'm using the trial here, so it may be out of capacity. So I have created lake house. I have structured the data in like a table and files format. So here we have uh, so Lakehouse is providing the tables and files. So I'm using a Git file here. So Git files, I'm loading Git files here. So here we have, I'm using this as a sample repo to load the data into my Lakehouse. So for that, I have Git file options, and I have given this. So what I did is I'm using data pipeline, sample data pipeline here, which we can see here. If I go to my workspace here, and then we have a sample data pipeline, copy data from Git. So I created this pipeline here to uh, to copy the data. So what I'm doing is I created this using a copy data functionality here. So you can use add to canvas. If I do this, then I'm able to copy the data. And to do this, like to copy the data from Git, I need a source. So the Git integration in place. So for that, if we want to create a great integration, we need to just use like use dynamic content. uh, we need to create a new connection here, and I created a new connection like this. So the source is a new git connection here, and using this git connection, I'm getting the data from um, my git repository. So here is the git connection I created, and I have created the new URL here. So the URL is basically the raw data I'm getting from here. So this is uh, the relative path I'm using. So this is the path I gave here for the relative URL, and if you can see, and this is the delimited text. So if I click on preview data, we will be able to see what data we have at this git repo. So it is loading the data here, whatever the data we have at this location. So I'm able to read all the data in my um, pipeline here. So I'm able to preview the data here. And then the data is in delimited text. So I selected the file format as delimited text. So it is able to create pull the data here. So now if you want to see here how it works, is whenever we need to pull the data, we need to just run the pipeline uh, using activities run. First I'll do validate. So once the pipeline is validated, then if I will run it, it will pull the data here into my OneLake storage. So here I can show you how the data looks. So if you look at here my Lakehouse, so it is pulling the data here. Git files, you can see it has pulled the data here, and AdventureWorks product.csv. So whatever the product file which we have it here, adventure product.csv, we can get the same data into my Lakehouse. Now that is the first part of the process. Now the second part is what we do when we have multiple data sets which we want to fetch. So if we can see here in a Fabric, we can structure the data like in JSON format. So I have relative URL, file name, folder name, like that. I have structured it like here. And what I did is I created a file, multiple dataset folder here, and within multiple dataset folder, I have added this Netflix metadata.json. So here, what I do is when I run the pipeline here, so I created a sample pipeline which we want to talk about here. If I go to, so data transformation pipeline I have created. So it is the real world use case we do. So what we do is we have a functionality here to create a pipeline, and when I do a new pipeline, so I can look up the data, and then I transfer for each. I'm going to add a for each loop here, so that we can pull the data for each row here. And then if you want to do a data flow, if you want to transform the data, I can do the transformation here in the data flow block. So what we do is here, if we go to lookup, right? So here we have a read underscore JSON block. Uh, so we will be using this block to look up the data. And how it is doing is it is using this file path, multiple data sets underscore and Netflix metadata.json. So in order to show it in an easy way, I'm going to duplicate this tab, and so that I can show you it relatively in an easier way. So we will be going to Lakehouse, and here we go. So I'm using this Lakehouse. So here we have multiple data set. So here we are using Netflix metadata.json. So this is the path I am specifying in this block: file path, multiple data set, and Netflix metadata.json. So what it is doing is, and we are saying file format is JSON. So this for each block is going to read this lookup, and then it is going to process each record. So how it is doing is, in for each we have a copy activity. So this is the activity I added. And here we have source and the destination. So source is my lookup. So the relative URL is item.relative URL. We can add this also, like I will show how we can do it. So how it does is, when we do the relative URL is my, this is the property here. So it is going to for each, so it is going to go for each record, and it's going to look at this CSV file. Like it is going to load each CSV here, and then it is going to upload into my lake house. And then so here this is the source, and my destination is the connection I'm giving the demo lake house. This is the destination we have. And then we have a file path, which is folder name and then the file name. So I'm just telling the system that how it has to create the folders and files. So I have already specified what folder name should be, and what should be my file name in my lake house. So when we are running this pipeline activities and then save and run, when we validate and then run, it is going to create the data here in my warehouse, in my lake house. We can see that if I go to Netflix cast, Netflix category, so for uh, each of my uh, each of the record, it is creating the um, records here. So if you see Netflix cast, category, countries, directors, and titles, so it has pulled all the record here for all the CSV files here. It has created it successfully. So that is the advantage we have using this Git connector and using this pipeline functionality. So now we will see how we are using data pipeline and the data flow. So in the data flow we have, I will show you how we do data flow. So if we do data flow, so data flow is like we can do the data transformation. So this is when we do new item, and we can see we have a data flow generator here, and using that, we can see this data flow generator. So when we click on it, it is going to create a new data flow generator. So I'm just showing it for test here. So how we are using data flow to transform the data. So here it says from where we want to get the data. So we can get the data from our lake house, right? So we can just go here and say this is my demo lake house I want to get the data from. So the connection is a bit slow, so it takes a little longer to process. So just be patient here. Yeah, so we can see here it is showing, it is, I'm able to connect with my lake house, and I can see what data I want to pull it in. So here we have all the files, so I can just pull whatever the files I want to pull it in, and I'm just adding here. So I just gave three files I want to choose, and I'm just saying create. So it will be pulling all the data, and I can see that all the data are pulled. So now, since the data is already loaded, I can, so we can see it's a good number of columns we have. And we can, if you want to transform any column, we can do it. For example, let's say Netflix directors, we can say there are two records, and if you want to just update the column name, so I can just go and update director and then ID. So I'm just going to update the records, and after that, if you want to delete the records here, so I can just say remove top rows. I'll just say I don't want the first row, I'm just deleting it, and it will just delete. And we can see here the beauty here is like it is recording everything, whatever whatever operations I'm doing. And if I want to roll back, I need to just click on a button and it will just roll back. So I've just click cancel, so I'm back to the previous stage. like that. So that, and now if I want to like say if I want to sort these columns, sort, I'm sorting the columns now. So it is going to sort the records, right? So similarly, and now since we see we are transforming the data here, but we need to store the data somewhere. So we need to define the destination where we are going to store the data. So in order to do that, we need to have defined the destination. So in order to do that, I'm going to create one um, one more destination here so that we can see how it looks. Uh, so I'm going to create the warehouse. So instead of going here, I'll just go to spaces. I'm going to go to create new. I will be creating a new workspace, a new. Just allow me a minute. It's taking a little longer to process. I think it's just because. Yeah. Okay. So now we are going to use warehouse to store. So I'll just say live warehouse. I created a warehouse here. So it is creating a new warehouse for me. And then we will see how we can push the data from data flow generator um, to my warehouse. So it is creating the schema, and we can see like it is showing the table and views and functions. So this is good. So I'll be I mean it is just finishing the creation, and then I'm going to connect this warehouse to my data flow generator. So here if I go and I can add the destination, and I just say warehouse. Okay, it's going to next. Right, so I can just say which live warehouse I gave the name. So I'm connecting my warehouse to here, and then it is just take some time to and next, and then save. So I'm just giving this and then save settings. So now I have created the destination here. So now I'm going to transform. So I'm going to just save and run. So when I'll do that, it is going to create the records in my warehouse. So we will go and check once it is completed. So here I'm going and I'm going to refresh. So sometimes it takes a little longer to get the records. So but we need to just have some time. And in the meanwhile, I am going to work on my countries table as well. And I'm going to do some transformation here too. So I'm going to uh, just to transform. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do group by. I'm going to use the column one, and I'm going to based on the column one, I'm just doing a group by. So it is going to create another column, and it is going to give me the count of the rows based on that record. So I'm just clicking on OK. So it is going to create uh, the record, the count for each country. So for example, Germany is 151 times, South Africa is 30 times, and on top of that, I'm going to sort the records here in ascending order so that I want to see them in order. So we can see here the records are in a particular order now. So this is good. Now in the meanwhile, I'll just see here if I can, if my tables are being loaded or not. Yes, we can see Netflix directories.csv is here now. So I've loaded the data into my warehouse from the Lakehouse. So this is great. Now I can see all the records which I was seeing there. And similarly, I'm going to uh, do that here also. So I'm going to add the data in my warehouse. I'll go next. And this is my live warehouse. I'm going to select this location. And I'm going to add the same records here as well. So now, and then I've created the destination. So that is good. Now I'm going to save and run so that I can push the records to my warehouse. Okay, so I think it's maybe we need to do a rerun. See. No, it's nice. So I have pushed the records here and I'll go again, refresh it, and we should see the record should be coming here. Sometimes it takes a little longer to get it, so it's okay.
Uh, Dharmendra, while you're still on this topic, there's actually a comment from Sam, who's actually talking about basically instead of renaming the column headers and deleting top rows, you just need to treat actually top row as the header, right? It is also a good thing, for others, who are not seeing the comments.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good comment, I think, from
Yeah.
Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, yeah. That's nice. So yeah, I'm just trying to just load the table here so that I can go with the once the tables are loaded here, I can go with the semantic model and generate the reports. So that's why I'm waiting for. I'm not sure why it is taking that long to load the report. I'll just run it again. So, Netflix countries, right? I have Netflix directors. Netflix countries. I'm going to. Yeah, we'll see. So the refresh works from here only. So I'm just waiting for. Okay, now we have both the tables here in my warehouse, and now I wanted to show you the semantic model, how semantic model works. So we can create a new semantic model from here, and I will just say live semantic model, and we can just load what data we want to load in the semantic model. So I am just adding some Netflix countries and directors. I'm just adding here in this, and just confirming here what I want to see. And we will see the transformation when we go to notebook as well. Like how do we do the transformation using notebooks? If you want to do it in programmatic way, that mainly all the data engineers do. So we will see in notebooks how we can do the transformation and how it generates the code automatically. So now this is good. So I think it has created the semantic model, and I'm going to, and this is a semantic model it has created. I just gave live semantic model, and I can open the semantic model right? I need to say open semantic model. When I click on open semantic model, we can see all the tables which are loaded here in the semantic model. And then I can try to create a report from the semantic model. So this is a Power BI report we am creating. So for that, I think we need to just select first. I can select this column, and then here we have columns we need to select, and select the chart. So I'm just using this chart. I select the first chart and I'm showing Netflix countries. And this first is the column, second one is the count. And so this is giving me a nice graph here. One second, one second. I'm going to enhance the size of this one so that it is easy to view. And the second one, Netflix directors, we can look at the we can look at this data and their IDs, and we can maybe it gives me like this some of the IDs based on the director name. I think this is also a good chart. We can see, and since we have a space issue, I'm just going to expand. Yeah. And then we have third, we can just I think these two are good enough, so we can just save this report and we can see how we can do a lot with this, uh, but I'm just in the interest of time, I'm just keeping it short here. Yeah, we can just we so that we can get more real estate here. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, so sum of count by column one, and here since we didn't transform this column there, that's why we see column one. But if we see countries and the count, then it will get the right data. And here we updated it, so it's saying director and their IDs. So now we can, if you want to save, we can save this report. Let's say you can say Netflix live report. Yeah, and then I'm saving the report. So now my report is generated and it is saved. That's how it is it's looking. So now this is the uh, and like the report we generated from our semantic model using our warehouse. But what about Lakehouse? What if you want to generate our report from the Lakehouse? How we do that? So I wanted to show that workflow also. For that, I will just go to my Lakehouse, and so the semantic model works based on the tables, not with the files. So we need to load the data into our semantic model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say load to tables. So whatever the data I have, I'm going to load the table, load to the tables. So it says new table, and it will just Netflix cast. I think we already done that. So I'll just select category, load to tables, new tables. Yes, category. Uh, we need to select CSV or Parquet. So I'm using Parquet only. That's fine. It is going to load. So now it is loading my file to the table. It is creating the table from the file, and similarly, I'm going to create one more. and that is country. And then we will be using the semantic model to generate the reports. So I think it's, let's wait for it to finish. Yeah, we can see this is coming now. Now we will use the directors. We can use the load to tables. I think directors, okay, it's already there. So I'll just use Netflix titles. And the good thing is if it is already there, it is giving me the message. So that is great. And I'm going to use the CSV, Netflix titles, and load. So this is good now. I have uh, I have my tables loaded here. So that is good sign. Now I will be creating the semantic model from here. So I'm just saying new semantic model. And in this semantic model, I need to select um, the tables which I wanted to do. And then I will just say name test uh, Lakehouse semantic model. And just create conform category and direct. Yeah, I'm just going to conform. So it is just creating the model now, and we'll be going to once it is created, we'll be going to a workspace to check if that is created, and once that is done, we will be generating the report from there. It is bit slow. It is taking a little longer to process it, but that's fine. Uh, I'm just going to show you how it looks here. I have it ready. Uh, this is the test lakehouse semantic model, which we just try to create it. Right here we have, and we can see that it is created. So now we'll say open semantic model. I think just like, yeah, and these are the two records we got it here. So we can just go and again create a new report, the same workflow which we just discussed. So the workflow is same here once you create the semantic model, but the only technique which I wanted to show you here is uh, listed in show id, and then I'm going to, yeah, this is good. So we can see the tabular chart as well, and if you want to show that kind of report. And second one is the directors, and we can show one second. I think my bad. So okay, so we'll just deselect it. It is taking a little longer to, yeah, that is fine. And then second one, I'm going to pick another chart and then the select, and there it is. This is a graph. I think that is not a big. We can choose maybe table. Yeah. So I think this is good. Yeah. This is what I wanted to. So with this data, we can make decisions, right? Who is the director and in the Netflix, and how and what is their IDs and what they produce. So and also here, like, it is based on the where they are listed, so we can get the records here for each TV show, and there's some of the shows we can get the report from here. So if I just so save, we can just save it. Let's report Lakehouse. Yeah. Yeah, these are the two workflows related to the Power BI I wanted to show. And now we will be, yeah, now we will be going to discuss how we can use notebooks and data wrangler um, concept. So how it works is if we can use uh, notebooks here. So we have the notebooks given to us here under prepare data section. We have a notebook. So when we create a new notebook, we need to, I think it's taking a little longer to, I think it's getting, yeah. So we can connect the notebook to our lake house. And when we connect it, I think it is creating, yes, it is creating notebook. So notebook 2, now we need to add the data items to it. So we can use uh, data items to it. So we can just connect to this lake house, and we can add the tables here. It will it will just show that it just takes time to load that data here, but once it is done, we can uh, run the transformation here, and we can use the data wrangler as well. You can see here. Now this is the lake house I connected to, and it is fetching the tables which we saw in the lake house, right? Which we so, and it has also the files. So we can, as a data engineer, if I want to do operations on files, I can just go here to my notebook and and load the data and do the transformation on top of it. So in the as I explained earlier about the data flow generator, where I was doing the transformation. So similar transformation we can do here also using data wrangler. So I will show it to you. So right now I'm just trying to load this records here uh, using notebook. So it is trying to uh, load it here first. So 1 second. So I'm running this and let's see. Load the data to Spark. So I am just first loading the data, and I'm going to run the cell. So it has created a Spark code automatically for me. And then now it is running the job, and we can see whatever the data we had in our in CSV file. I can create the Spark code here. So the system is doing it for me. I don't need to worry about it. And it has created the data frame for me. So I'm here directly working on the data frame itself. Now if we want to do the data wrangling on top of it, so what I will do, I am just going to go to the data frame and going to do the operations on top of it. So we will see how we can do it. So it has loaded the data frame here for me, and on the left side we can see the operations. So we can do different operations um, on it. For example, if I want to do column operation, so I can do that. Or if I want to do any group by aggregate, then it we need to just select which I want to do. For example, I want to do cast. It is going to generate the code for me, and I can just apply that code on top of it. So if I do apply, it is going to apply that. And then if I will just say add code to the notebook, it will just going to go ahead and add the code. Similarly, if I want to do sort and filtering, if I do sort, and what is the target column I need to select, it is just the cast. So it is going to apply that code. If I need to apply, when I do apply and then say add code to the notebook, so it is going to generate this code for me, and I'll just say add. So if you look at the next cell, if I go down, if you look at the next cell, it has already generated that code for me, and I need to just run the code. So that is the power here. So I think a session here. Let me. I think I was getting the same problem earlier too. So I'll just go back. 1 second. Just use this data frame one. Just use that. It is still taking time to load. I think in the interest of time, I can just go uh, to the notebook I have already created. So I can just show there. Here I have to the notebook one. We'll go there and we will check. It is loading the notebook now, and we will just quickly go and take a look at it. Yeah, so this is what I did here. So I will just this is the code generated by data wrangler for data frame earlier. So I initially that was the first code generated, and that was the first cell, and then I did a transformation on top of it. This I did some cleaning on that, and then it is just, and I stored in a separate data frame, that is df clean, and then I did another transformation, just I'm displaying the clean data, and we can see it here. So if I just run this here, it is going to load the new records. So that is the beauty of having notebooks, auto generating the code without, like, it is more of a like a low code platform where you don't need to write more code. And so I think there's some issue here. So df is not defined because we need to load the data frame first, that's why. Yeah, I think then we should run this. Yeah, so in this one we just, because it has a dependency on the first block, so I ran it, and now I ran the second block, it worked. So yeah, so now we can see it is showing the clean records here. So now we covered notebook also. Now we will talk about the pipelines, like how we can create a pipeline, demo pipeline. We will see here. So the deployment pipelines here we have in place, um, and we can create like a several stages to the pipeline. So I'll just create a new pipeline and just say layer pipeline, and just giving the name. And now I want to have the two stages into it. So the first stage is development, second stage is test. So I am just keeping the two stages, and if I'm just going to say create, it will be creating the two stages here. So now I'm going to give the space workspace where I'm just saying OneLake workspace. So here for in order to work on this one, we need to have workspaces created first. So for that, I need to, since I created workspace, like a demo workspace I have, and that is for development. Now similarly, I need to have a test workspace, so that I can promote my changes to the new workspace, which is for my testing, right? So I'm going here, I'm going to create a new workspace here, live test workspace. I give this name. And now I'll just go to my pipeline here. I just create a new pipeline here. I think we created that demo live pipeline. Yeah. So we have OneLake workspace, and now I'm giving to live test workspace. So I'm assigning these workspaces to my development and test area. So what happens is whatever items we have in one workspace, it will be promoted to the next workspace. So here it didn't have much, so we'll just go to the workspace which has more data. So I'm just going to use that instead. I think, yeah, demo. Uh, so I created this demo pipeline here. It is taking a little longer to load, so my apologies for that. Uh, yeah, we can see here I created two workspaces, demo workspace and demo QA workspace. I created for sample. So now if you want to promote, let's say in demo workspace, I have three warehouses, and demo queue workspace, I have one warehouse, and I just assign two workspaces. And if I want to promote the changes from one workspace to another workspace, I'll just go and click deploy. So what it will say, it is going to show me the diff, right? So what are the differences, right? How many are new? So I added these new records. So it is showing me that these are the two new records, and it is showing me these are the data transformation and demo warehouse. These are the two items are different, like which is changed from the previous stage. I'm just saying, okay, go ahead and deploy. So it is copying the content from my demo workspace and putting it to QA workspace. So it is just doing the copy. So in Azure DevOps world, we need to make a package, and then we need to push the changes to the next workload, next stage. But here in Fabric, it is the beauty they have given to us. Like the pipelines are very simplified, and we can see it is easy to promote changes from one workspace to other workspace in just with a click of a button. Um, so that is the advantage we have, as they have simplified the pipelines a lot. So it is taking little time to copy the content, and once this is done, we will just go and look at the QA workspace, which I already created it for this demo. So we can just go and see here. I think it is just copying, still copying that. So since we had a lot of data here, so it is taking.
Uh,
Yeah,
Dharmendra,
yeah,
so while it is loading, there two questions from Sam. I'm gonna just share them, show them on the screen, and you can just answer them.
yeah.
First of all, is so from Lakehouse, you've created a warehouse, then you created a semantic model. Then, what would be the use case to create semantic model from Lakehouse?
I think we already covered that. So we created the lake house semantic model from the lake house we created. So let's say, right, what is the use case? So for example, if you are working on the relational data sets, right, then it is better to use uh, creating the semantic model from the warehouse. But if you're working on the raw data, and if you want to generate the report from uh, lake house, then you can create a semantic house and generate the report from there. So we that's why we covered both the scenarios.
Yeah. And another, question actually is coming from Sam. What are use cases for using JSON config file to loop through record files and create lakehouse tables versus simply using load tables from the built-in feature.
um, so like what is the use? So when you are having like when you want to use a git integration, right? And if you want to use git integration, and then we can use our loop through feature which we just discussed. So we are specifying everything in a JSON format, in the metadata format, and you can just use the power of the pipeline. Just with a click of a button, you need to just push all the tables, push the data to all the tables. Then we are using this technique. Then the pipeline is handling it. Otherwise, you need to copy one file at a time, and then you need to load the data manually, right? So we are using the power of git integration here to load the data, and it simplifies it. So when you have, let's say, thousands of tables to load, you can specify all the tables in the JSON format, and use the pipeline, data pipeline, git integration, and it will load the records there in minutes instead of hours, right? That is the power here.
And not necessarily the per table. Maybe we can have multiple files for only one table that is going to be gathered from different locations, right? For example,
Yeah,
let's say we have the files in Azure Data Lake or Amazon S3 or wherever, that
yeah.
they are all in different locations. We can have the information of, and maybe even the URL of them is going to be different every single time, or the file name is going to be changed, whatever. Those file names can be just stored somewhere like this, a JSON file, or whatever data set that we are going to define. Then it can just go through that loop and find the source, and even we can add more metadata to that, and like destination, type of that, or whatever that we can add to those JSON. Yeah, that's a good strategy. I like it. And another question from Sam, for deployments.
Mhm.
It is only deploying the metadata and not actually the data from dev to test.
No, no, we are deploying actual data as well. I'll show you. So, for example, if you look at demo QA workspace, I'm just showing the lineage now. But if you look at, this is another thing which remaining, which I wanted to comment. So, if you look at the demo QA workspace, um, and then it is basically copying everything. If you look at, it is copying our lake house. It is copied. It is copying the data from the data pipeline. It copied notebook 1 2, right? And data transformation pipeline, another pipeline it copied, and semantic model it copied, right? So whatever the semantic model it had, it copied everything. So it is not just the metadata, it is copying the actual data when we are promoting the changes from one workspace to other workspace. Yeah. So if you look at, and yeah, so that is what we are seeing, right? We are seeing everything here. So it is not just copying the metadata, it's copying the actual data. If you look at here, I'll just show you another workspace. So here, if you look at ddqa workspace, that is also part of the pipeline I created, and we copied from the dt workspace to ddqa workspace, and as part of the pipeline it is copying everything if you look at it, right? So like semantic model, data pipeline, and reports, power bi reports, everything it is copying. So like whatever we do with the Azure DevOps pipeline, we can do the same thing with the uh, deployment pipeline here in Fabric. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. And no, it is just as Sam is asking, how about from test to prod? You don't want to copy data from test to prod?
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to do test to prod, we need to add more stages. So for example, let's say when you create a pipeline, then you need to say, let's say, prod pipeline, prod pipeline. Then we can say next. Then you need to say development, test, and production, right? Then we can create three stages, and then we can give the different, like we need to create three workspaces here, right? One would be for your development workspace, is test workspace, and prod workspace. And then if you run it, then it will promote from development to test, test to production, like that. But for simplicity, I was just showing two stages. But we can, for if you want to promote, like if you have a UAT workspace and production, then we can have four like that. So we need to assign the workspaces to the each environment, and it will promote the changes from lower environment to higher environment.
Actually, I have the same concern as Sam. You know, the
Yeah. What is?
understanding basically is that only metadata and dev runs against dev data, test runs against test data, and yeah, no production data against prod data. I we don't really expect the data to be moved to the next stage.
Okay. You are not expecting data. Okay, but we will see. 1 minute. That's a good point, but I'll definitely look into that. Deployment pipelines will go. And let's say here, let's say QA workspace. And if you look at here, warehouse, unable to. Okay, I need to. There's some limitations, so I need to close few items from here. Semantic model, notebook. Yeah, warehouse. Okay. Yeah, DT warehouse. It is showing the warehouse here. It's my demo test workspace. DB. Yeah,
And I can
yeah. I
maybe
can.
we can just confirm that that the data is not going to be moved. Actually, we basically have the metadata that is going to move. However, it
Mhm.
depends where we are actually pointing at our connection. For example, when we are working in uh, the test, if we can just connect to that data source in dev, that's okay. But
Mhm.
of course, the connection string is going to change, right, in each environment that we are doing
Right.
the deployment.
Maybe. I'm
Correct
just.
me if I'm wrong, but
But
it is the expectation. I know it is a very valid concern and question.
yeah.
That Sam is actually brought to the table, right? That
No, makes
only
sense.
the metadata is going to just move. Yeah.
Yeah, we will see. Mhm. No, that's a good point. But definitely, I'm just checking for you. Yeah, it is just taking little time to load it. Warehouse. One second. Why it is not selecting? Mm, Second. Okay, I think I'm not comparing the DD workspace. Just check. I'm just comparing both. Yeah, I'm just closing everything just to simplify it. Otherwise, it is.
Sorry, I'm just stealing your. Uh,
You can, yeah, you can still share, no problem.
yeah.
I'm just.
I'm just stealing your share to just show something.
Mhm.
Uh, the items actually properties that are not copied. When we're doing the deployments, right? So
Yeah.
data isn't copied. Only metadata is copied. The URL
Okay.
ID permissions for a workspace or something. workspace settings, app content and settings. And the following semantic model properties are also not copied during the deployments, right? Assignments, refresh schedule, data source credentials, query caching, and endorsement settings. Just wanted to share this, this with everyone. Yeah,
Thank you for clarifying that.
no
Yeah,
problem.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. I think we are just at the end of the session. So if anyone has any other question, we can discuss that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much, Dharmendra, for your time and sharing your knowledge with us. Guys, if you have got any question, any more questions, please write it in the chat so it can be answered. If not, I can just jump into my other slides. I know today's session with Dharmendra, is completed. You can just rewatch it on YouTube channel. And our next session will be with James Serra. Uh, with using generative AI on structured data to query or modify the data. Next week on Saturday, 13th of September at 7 a.m. Pacific time. So, the session is in the halfway of the announcement. It is available on Meetup, and just don't forget to rate this today's session and Meetup, and we can just find out how we have done our session. And if you missed that, if you want to rewatch it, for sure, go to our YouTube channel and make sure subscribe and if you like it, just give it a thumbs up, add your comments, share it with your network. On our LinkedIn page, we do the announcements. Follow us there, and on Microsoft Community Group and Microsoft Fabric Community, join us there. Join the session, discussions, ask your questions, or share your knowledge with others, and also the meetup that I already talked about. So, Sam, just think, yeah, it's appreciated, Demanda. Thank you for the session. Message from Sam. Thank you very much, Sam, for your questions.
Yeah,
We do appreciate, I know, the questions that you ask. Guys, ask the questions. Ask the questions. We are just repeating that thousands of times. When you ask the questions, it is going to be more, let's say, engagement, in the sessions, and more knowledge is going to be transferred, right? That was great, that we were seeing from Sam, that in the chat it was just talking about, hey, instead of this we can do that.
yeah,
That's awesome. It is kind of share of knowledge, that share of experience. So don't please don't hesitate to just express yourself, express your questions. Cool, thank you very much, Ramondra. If you want to add something here, feel free. If not, we
mm,
can wrap up the session, and wishing a nice weekend for everyone.
indeed, indeed. Thank you. Thank you to Marat for giving me the opportunity to present, and it was very good session today, and the interaction we had today. And thank you to Sam as well for asking nice question and giving the suggestions. I really like that interaction. So kudos to Sam as well for the interactive session and the questions. I appreciate it, and thank you for and you to chiming in and clarifying things. So I appreciate that as well. And I'm also learning with you guys. So yeah, thanks. That
That's all good. Yeah,
yeah.
awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. That's very good to have the speakers in the community. Thank you very much. It is the time that you are spending from your personal time for the community. That is great, and it's really appreciated. And guys, yeah, enjoy your weekend. Yeah, have a good one.